Namanda, 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 Namanda. Nichigatmani shukoenyo kaishit nonpe yunyaku jumok nyorai yongen cholsemurin Shogaku Daion Kouru Jipo Kaimon Shojin Sanmai Chie Itoku Muryo Shushou Keu Jintai Zennen Shobuten Hokai Gujin Jin no Kungo Ngai Tai Mumyo Yokunu Seson Yomu Ninno Shishi Jin Toku Muryo Kukun Kodai Chie Jinmyo Komyo Iso Shindo Daisen Ganga Sabut Zai Shou Gato Shojin Mihu Gedat Use Joi Kainin Shojin Nyoze Sanmai Chie Ijo Gosei Tokubutsu Ugyo Shinran Isai Kuku Isadayan Keshi Ubutsu Yakusen no Kuman Muryo Daisho Shunyo Goja Kuyo Isai Shito Shobutsu Unyo Gudo Kensho Fugyak Inyo Goja Shobun Sekai Buhu Kake Mushu Sendo Komyo Shisho Henshi Shokok Nyoze Shojin Ijin Nanryo Ryoga Sabut Kokudo Dai Ich Goshu Kimyo Dojo Chozetsu 国女内音にむとそがとあいみんどだにさいじぽらいしょしんねんしょじょいとがこけらくあんのんこぶんしみょぜがしんしょおんがんのひびきしょしょよじぽせそちえむげじょりょしそちがしんりょけりょしんししょくどくちゅがぎょしょじにんじゅふけなまんだぶなまんだぶなまんだぶなまんだぶなまんだぶなまんだぶがにしくどくびょうどせいさいどうほんぼだいしんおうじょうあんだこNamandaps, namandaps, 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 namandaps. Please join me in Gasho. Namandaps. Thus, on the one hand, you should not be anxious that Tathagata will not receive you because you do wrong. A foolish being is by nature possessed of blind passions, so you must recognize yourself as being of karmic evil. On the other hand, you should not think that you deserve to attain birth because you are good. You cannot be born into the true and real fulfilled land through such self-power calculation. I have been taught that with Shinjin or self-power, with Shinjin of self-power, a person can attain birth only in the realm of indolence, the borderland, the womb palace, or the city of doubt. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Namandaps, namandaps, namandaps. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first Sunday service for the month of August. I can't believe we're already in August. Many of you are probably very happy and recovering from the heat wave that happened a couple weeks ago. Of course, unfortunately, we have a couple more days of 90-degree weather ahead of us. So I advise everyone to take care of themselves, try to take refuge or to take protection in a cool place, drink plenty of water, stay hydrated, do all these things to take care of yourself. I wanted to talk a little bit about Shinran Shonin today, and one of my favorite texts to read from Shinran Shonin is the Mattosho, or the Lamp for the Latter Ages. These are a collection of letters that Shinran Shonin wrote to his students or his followers. I mean, of course, Shinran himself said that I don't have one student, I'm myself am a traveler on this journey. But many people wrote to Shinran Shonin seeking his advice or clarification on the teaching. For while our teaching is very easy, quote unquote, there are many nuances that can be very difficult to understand. So one of the things that we're talking about here are, we as Bonbu, or selfish or foolish beings, how can we hope to be born in the Pure Land? How can we hope to attain enlightenment on our own, by our own calculation, by our own means? If we are so foolish, if we are so self-centered or use our own foolish calculation to try and figure things out or to awaken enlightenment, how can we hope to do this? And with our base nature, our base human instincts, right? We get angry, we get sad, we become very happy, we become excited. With all of these emotions that we sometimes have difficulty with controlling, how can we possibly hope to become Buddhas ourselves? How can we hope to attain that enlightenment goal? Well, Shinran perfectly explains that because we are afflicted with human condition, because we get angry, because we have moments of sadness or moments of total despair, we are saved by Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion. The Dharma still continues to work for our benefit. And, but then also cautions us too. Now, this isn't to say, I'm going to preface this isn't to say that I encourage that we should not do good things, right? We should, I'm not saying that we should not give to charity or that we shouldn't give to, donate to like homeless shelters or we shouldn't help out others in need or that we shouldn't be kind. We should all do these things when we can. We should all be kind when we can. We should all try our best to help others in need. And we should stand up for justice when an injustice has occurred. But that is to say that, that all of these things that we do, right, once we start in our minds thinking to ourselves, oh, I am such a good person, I am such a wonderful person, look at all the good things that I have done, I donate to charity, I help others in need, at every bazaar I go and help, and I help make the teriyaki chicken, right? I mean, and again, this is not specifically aimed at anyone in particular, but again, right, we have these thoughts that go through our minds. And so sometimes we think ourselves to be superior to others. And when we have titles and labels, like I have reverend, I get to wear robe and wagesa, or in martial arts, if one gets a black belt, right? We kind of have these baser thoughts, these instincts going through our head. I am ahead, I know more than you do, therefore I am better than you. We all have these thoughts from time to time, especially I have these thoughts from time to time. And it's because we have these thoughts and it's because that we have these instincts that Amida Buddha, we must rely fully on Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion. And we have to fully accept that we are limited as humans. And of course, it's very easy for us. It's very easy for us as people to just kind of pass it off and go, yeah, we're imperfect, we're human, we're only human. And even more dangerous is to think, oh, I'm imperfect and Amida Buddha saves me, so therefore I get to do whatever I want, right? This is not what Shinran is talking about. What Shinran is talking about is recognizing that we as people are limited in our capacity to calculate on what is purely good and what is purely evil. We as humans are flawed and we make mistakes, we have bouts of anger, we succumb to many things. We sometimes succumb to just taking the easy way out. Sometimes we want to cut corners, or other times we want to ridicule others for not doing things the way that we do them, right? Even if we don't say these things out loud, sometimes we think these things. I think one of the beautiful things about Shinran Shonin is that there is this ultimate recognition of the real people inside of ourselves. We put a lot of facades on when we go out in public. Many people see our beautiful smile and they think we're so kind and gentle and we have this beautiful nature to ourselves. But lots of these people don't see what goes on behind closed doors, right? I get irritated, I get very frustrated. And when we show this part in public, it becomes very uncomfortable. But when we go behind closed doors and we see, sometimes I get into an argument, it becomes very uncomfortable, or it becomes, this is also a true part of who we are. And Shinran Shonin recognizes this, as well as Shakyamuni Buddha, and most importantly, Amida Buddha. There is this idea that we as Buddhists are all these serene people who never get mad about things, or who are always able to take things in stride. And this isn't to say that we shouldn't use the lessons in Buddhism to better our lives. But I think every now and then, and especially what Shinran does, is comes back to the beginning of who we are, or the base instincts of who we are as people. The very foundations of the human condition is that, when we think about how to, do things, we most times think about how is this going to benefit me, right? Even in, when we donate, right? It's like, well, how much can I write this off as a tax break? Little things like this. Even the way that we live, or the place that we live, we want it to look the best, but we also mainly want it to look best for the benefit of us, or ourselves. And the same thing is true when we buy food, or when we cook or when we go out, or when we spend money, right? Mostly we think about how it's going to benefit us. And so because of this, it's very important for us as Jodo Shinshu Buddhists to come back to the realization and the understanding that we are limited in our capacity to do good or to do completely selfless acts. And this isn't to say that we shouldn't try to do these things. We should try as hard as we can. But we should also recognize that doing these things, doing these acts of kindness, these acts of selflessness, donating, all these wonderful things, this doesn't get us closer to the Pure Land, okay? This doesn't mean that, oh, I donated more money, therefore I'm closer to the Pure Land than this person. Or I volunteer all my time at the temple, so therefore I'm closer to the Pure Land. I'm better than you, right? This isn't what we're talking about here, and this isn't what Shinran is advocating at all. What he's advocating is that the true cause of birth in the Pure Land, that is to say, complete enlightenment, is first fully recognizing that we are limited human beings. Okay, and this is hard. This is a very hard thing to do. We can offhandishly sort of accept this and say, "Oh yeah, of course I'm imperfect," but at the same time, how often do we really, in our own heads, think and calculate, "I'm right, that person's wrong"? I mean, this happens when I watch the news. When I watch the news and something happens, or someone says something that I definitely don't agree with, I immediately judge that person and say, "Oh gosh, what a stupid thing for this person to say." Or, "Oh, I can't believe, how can a person think this way?" Right? When I'm certain, when probably someone watches one of my Dharma talks, they probably think the same thing. They say, "Oh, how can sensei say such a thing?" Or, "I don't agree with that," or, "I don't like that." Right? All of us are victim to this. All of us have this affliction of egocentric, "I am always right," this attitude of "I am always right." And especially when it comes to siblings, this is definitely the case. I boss my younger brother around constantly. If he were here sitting next to me right now, he would say, "You boss me around so much that, it's become like white noise to me." And, again, this isn't to say that I'm a terrible person for doing this, or that, I'm an awful person, or that I don't love my brother. But at the same time, this is also saying that because I am merely the older brother, that automatically means that I know what's best, and Kazuo must always do what I say, right? Kazuo is my brother, by the way. And that is deluded thinking. That is bonbu. That is bonbuness. That is my human nature, okay? And so because of this, I must push my hands together in Gassho and once again say Namo Amida Buddha with the understanding that I am this imperfect being, okay? And with that in mind, hopefully again, I sort of do a little bit better to treat my brother with more respect. This isn't to say that I say Namo Amida Buddha and I become a better person, or that I say Namo Amida Buddha and all of a sudden me bossing around my brother or annoying him or doing all of those things that annoy him, right? That makes it okay, right? That doesn't make it okay. But it also recognizes that I am a human being with base instincts, okay? Now, of course, once again, Shinran Shonin is not advocating that it's okay for us to cause harm to others. Okay, Shinran says in many other letters that, just because I say that Amida Buddha accepts all sentient beings to the Pure Land, that doesn't mean that you get to just go around and do whatever you want or advocate to do evil. What he's saying is that we are limited as humans. I am a limited human being. I'm imperfect. And that's okay because Amida Buddha accepts me for who I am. Amida Buddha accepts me to the Pure Land because I am imperfect, because I cannot on my own become a Buddha, a fully enlightened being. So this is sort of the adult Dharma talk that I wanted to have once again, because all of us are prone to this. I am especially prone to this. This is why, I get into arguments with people or I have feelings towards people. It's because I can't sometimes help the way that I feel. Now, this isn't to say that, again, that we should just always act on our impulses or that we should just, throw caution to the wind. And in fact, when one recognizes how limited we are and how much we rely upon Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion, that itself might help us in the future reevaluate situations, change our behavior, and in a sense, live a more authentic but non-harmful lifestyle. But again, Shinran says that inevitably, sometimes we mess up. Sometimes we make mistakes. And because we make these mistakes and because we are prone to these mistakes, we must fully rely on the wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha. So I thank you all very much for joining me today for this warm August Sunday. I certainly hope that everyone is enjoying their summer vacation and that you are all eager to once again come back to the temple and we are able to gather and listen to the sutra chanting and listen to the Dharma all together. But until we are able to meet again, please take care of yourselves once again. Try to stay in cool places, drink plenty of water, and most importantly, say the Nembutsu. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Buddha. Nam Mandats, Nam Mandats, Nam Mandats.